So now that you have practiced using photographs to design, we're going to move on to designing with illustration. So using Illustrator, we'll do a similar project where you are designing for an abstract concept using the fruits of the spirit. Like I said, there are so many situations in my work experience where I have had to translate an idea that is not tangible or physical into a graphic element like an illustration. So this is really good practice for you. And not only that, but just like this van and its limitations, I'm going to show you how to use limitations to your advantage using only one color and using a very small amount of tools to create that illustration. So in this van, it was originally a shell. It was just completely wide open metal space, and we had to determine what we wanted to put in it and how to design the layout. And trust me, every single inch of this van is very well thought out and very planned. But it didn't start off as being really useful to us. It took many times to really understand what was most important and how the space fit what we wanted to do inside. When we first got the van, we traveled from Kentucky to Minneapolis and back, and that was a fairly short trip to really understand, what we needed, what kind of mistakes we made, and kind of give like a sketch of what the van would look like and what our life would look like before we went on a really large trip. So we made a few mistakes. We brought along too many dishes, and we brought along too many clothes, and we consolidated those into more useful items where we had, for instance, instead of plates and bowls, we had a bowl that was also a plate. And instead of having a bunch of cabinets full of clothes or coats when it was cold, we took a pillowcase and put all of our coats inside the pillowcase, making like a nice decorative pillow, but we didn't have to sacrifice the space for it. Just like in the van, illustration takes a lot of doodling and sketching, so you can, practice those ideas on paper or digitally before getting started. So you're going to be learning the fruits of the spirit by illustrating each of one of them using only one color. And when you get started, again, nothing's going to be perfect, and you're going to have various ideas, and just get all those ideas out visually and see what you come up with. So when you're starting on this project in Illustrator, I want you to remember that Photoshop, our previous project software, it is in raster, and now we're moving to vector. So when you start your artboard, similar to Photoshop, I don't want you to worry about what size it is, because that vector will adapt to the anchor points and the paths that are associated with it. So when you're creating anchor points and paths, there is math involved where it is calculating what the resolution should be between those two anchor points, and that is called vector. So when you're creating your artboard and getting started, just keep in mind that if you make it really small, you can always make it larger, and vice versa. You can blow it up to as big as a billboard if you want to. So find a size that you are comfortable with and start sketching and doodling.